1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check. 1, 2. Hey, hey, 1, 2. We return. A little more vocal. We return. We return. It's just a sound check. Make maybe less guitar down. Hey, hey, hey. What? We return. We return.
We return.
We return. Return again. Please sing with us. We return.
We return.
We return.
Good Yontif. Welcome to each of you this evening as we bring in this most sacred day of Yom Kippur. I'm so very glad we have the chance to do so together. As we begin our service, in order for us each to be as fully present as possible, I'm going to invite you to take a look at your cell phone and make sure that it's turned to silent or to off. Don't be shy. Feel free to really take a look and make sure so you're not distracted if you don't intend to be. We bring in Yom Kippur, the light of the candles, and it is my pleasure to invite the beloved families of the clergy team to kindle our candles this evening. You can find the blessings on page 9 of your Machzor. Page 15. Kol Nidre, a chant that begins in a whisper and rises to a cry. On this night of promises remembered, each soul in solitude communes with the soul of the universe. God, from this day of atonement to the next, may we reach it in peace. All Israel makes these vows, to turn from wrong, dishonesty, and greed, to walk in the path of justice and right. Yet we know our weakness, how prone we are to fail. Help us to keep our word. Help us to act with humility and integrity. We seek pardon and forgiveness. We seek your radiance and light. Please rise as you are able.
וישיבה של מעלה, ובישיבה של מטה, על דעת המקום ועל דעת הקהל, אנו מתירים להתפלל עם המעיינים.
Page 18. Let our speech be pure and our promises sincere. Let our spoken words, every vow and every oath be honest and well-intentioned. Let our words cause no pain, bring no harm, and never lead to shame, distrust, or fear. And if, after honest effort, we are unable to fulfill a promise, a vow, or an oath, may we be released from its obligation and forgiven for our failure. Let our speech be pure and our promises sincere. Page 20. Page 20. All shall be forgiven the entire community of Israel and the stranger who lives in their midst, for all have gone astray in error. Moses prayed to God, as you have been faithful to this people ever since Egypt, please forgive their failings now in keeping with your boundless love. And God responded, I forgive as you have asked.
Umavir yom, umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzvot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Amari v'aravi. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeh yomam halayla v'avetecha tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Be seated, continuing on page 30.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'dvarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom Veshinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shofbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uv'chtavtam Amazuzot beitecha page 36. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael, ve'amarta alehem, ve'asu lahem tzitzit, al kanfei v'gdehem ledorotam, v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf, v'til techelet, v'haya lachem, v'tzitzit uritem oto, u'zchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, v'asitem otam, v'lo taturu acharei levavchem, v'acharei einechem, asher atem zonim achareihem, leman tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, v'hiot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Continuing now on page 40, Mi Chamocha, page 40. Turning now to page 43. When fears multiply and danger threatens, when sickness comes, when death confronts us, it is God's blessing of shalom that sustains us and upholds us, lightening our burdens, dispelling our worry, restoring our strength, renewing our hope, reviving us. We'll join Ben and the cantor on page 42 as we pray together for peace.
Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Lishalom, Lishalom. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu. Shalom, לשלום, השכיבנו, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך,
השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו,
השכיבנו,
אדוני
אדוני אלוהינו לשלום.
Beginning on page 46, we'll find the words of the Amidah. We rise now as we are able for a few moments of silent prayer. Please feel free to pray the words of the Machzor or use this time for your own meditation and reflection. Please be seated when you're done. We're on page 78.
Shalom Ra, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. ניזכר וניכתב לפניך לחיים טובים, לחיים טובים Baruch atah Adonai, Oseh HaShalom.
We take a moment now at this holy time to reflect and send prayers for strength, for well-being, for shalom, shlemut, wholeness and peace to friends and loved ones who could use a special blessing for healing on this holiest evening of the year. If there is someone for whom you are praying especially, we invite you to share their name at this time. If you're joining us virtually, please feel free to write the name in the chat. If you'd like to follow along the words of the Misha Beirach prayer, you can find them on page 273 as we lift up all of these names. On page 82, we rise as we are able, as we begin the vidui, the confessional prayer. Page 82.
Eloheinu, v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, tavo lefanecha tefilateinu, ve'al titala mitchinateinu. לפנים וקשי עורף. ומר לפניך. אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, צדיקים אנחנו ולא חטאנו,
Let's read together. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. Please be seated. On page 86, for these sins, our God, we ask forgiveness. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha bezidon uvishgaga, v'al chet shechatanu lefanecha bedibur peh.
The ways we have wronged you deliberately and by mistake, and harm we have caused in your world through the words of our mouths.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha be'imut halev, v'al chet shechatanu lefanecha betifshut peh.
The ways we have wronged you by hardening our hearts, and harm we have caused in your world through careless speech.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha bekachash ubechazav, v'al-chet shechatanu lefanecha birchilut.
The ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and harm we have caused in your world through gossip and rumor.
Al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'flilut, v'al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'zilzul, horim u'morim.
The ways we have wronged you by judging others unfairly, and harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers.
Al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'vidui peh, v'al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'hona'at re'ah.
The ways we have wronged you through insincere apologies, and harm we have caused in your world by mistreating a friend or neighbor.
Al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'chozek yad, v'al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'masa v'matan.
The ways we have wronged you through violence and abuse, and harm we have caused in your world through dishonesty in business.
V'al kulam Eloah slichot, slach lanu, mechal lanu, kaper lanu.
For all these failures of judgment and will, God forgive us. Forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement.
Al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'galui v'sater, v'al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'frikat ol.
The ways we have wronged you openly and secretly, and harm we have caused in your world by losing self-control.
Al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'gilui arayot, v'al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'machal v'mishteh.
The ways we have wronged you through sexual immorality, and harm we have caused in your world through consumption of food and drink.
Al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'yetzer hara, v'al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'neshech uv'marbit.
The ways we have wronged you by giving in to our hostile impulses, and harm we have caused in your world through greed and exploitation.
Al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'latzon, v'al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'netiyat garon.
The ways we have wronged you through cynicism and scorn, and harm we have caused in your world through arrogant behavior.
Al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'sinat chinam, v'al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'tumat tzvatayim.
The ways we have wronged you by hating without cause, and harm we have caused in your world through offensive speech.
Al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'lshon hara, v'al-chet shechatanu lefanecha b'tzarut ayin.
The ways we have wronged you with a slanderous tongue, and harm we have caused in your world through a selfish or petty spirit.
V'al kulam Eloah slichot, slach lanu, mechal lanu, kaper lanu.
For all these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us,
lead us to atonement.
We will continue together on page 113. Page 113, as we continue with Avinu Malkeinu, please rise as you are able. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice. Some of us have cancer. Some have lost strength of body, some have lost memory and speech. Some of us are in pain. Some can't find work. Some of us bear the marks of human cruelty inside where the scars don't show. Some live with depression. Some battle addiction. Many feel alone. Some have known shattered marriages, trust betrayed, hopes destroyed. Some of us have lost the ones we love far too soon. And some have lost a child. All of us have seen suffering in our midst. All of us know the ravages of war for which there are no words. Avinu Malkeinu, why? Avinu Malkeinu, are you there? Do you care? Avinu Malkeinu, hear our pain, hear our anger, hear our grief. Avinu Malkeinu, here is our prayer. Give us the strength to go on. Give us reasons to get up each day. Give us purpose and persistence. Help us to fend off fear and to hold on to hope. Help us to be kind. Don't make us bow or grovel for your favor. Give us dignity and give us courage. Avinu Malkeinu, show us the way to a year of goodness. Renew our belief that the world can be better. Restore our faith in life. Restore our faith in you.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu,
Please have a seat. I want you to take a look at the Torah, and I want you to think about what the Torah is and what it means and has meant to the Jewish people, and how a Sefer Torah comes to life. Parchment is selected and each sheet examined. The sheets are individually scored, ink prepared, and each letter is written meticulously by hand. Every word is reviewed for accuracy, and the scroll is sewn together and affixed to these wooden rollers that are known as Atzei Chaim, trees of life. The Jewish people are known as the people of the book, and the Torah is our foundational text. In a world where knowledge was transmitted on clay tablets, the development of papyrus 5,000 years ago was a huge technological advance. Paper came along about 2,000 years ago, and the printing press in the 15th century was revolutionary. Maybe someone here is old enough to recall when telegraphs emerged as the means for long-distance communication. And I certainly recall when a long cord on the phone attached to the wall was a big deal. I graduated from rabbinical school with no personal computer and no access to anything called the internet. Through it all, the Jewish people have continued to revere this ancient text transmitted in an ancient format. Technology advances beyond the wildest imaginations of our ancestors, and yet we preserve the holiness of the Torah scroll. There is something deeply comforting about touching, seeing, connecting with our holiest treasure made 100% by human hands. So, what are we to make of AI? Artificial intelligence. While chatty AI has been around for decades, generative AI was introduced to the public only about a year ago and is perhaps the most disruptive technology to emerge in history. By February of this year, I felt called on to say something about it on this holiest day. And by March, I was in a panic that artificial intelligence was evolving so quickly that there's no way to say anything that wouldn't be obsolete 5 minutes later. By the way, in case someone is listening who has not yet dipped their toe into the world of artificial intelligence, here's a quick overview. I wasn't sure exactly how to express my thoughts, so I asked ChatGPT, my go-to AI source, how to explain AI to an 8-year-old. And here's what popped out in a nanosecond. Hey there! AI, which stands for artificial intelligence, is a super smart technology that helps computers and machines think and learn like humans. Just like you learn new things every day, AI can learn and understand things too. It can solve problems, make decisions, and even do tasks that usually need humans to do them. It's like having a very clever friend inside a computer. AI is used in lots of things like self-driving cars, video games, and even in devices at home like smart speakers. It's pretty amazing. I agree that it's pretty amazing. My mom's jaw dropped when I showed her how ChatGPT could write a 600-word sermon about the holiday of Passover, quoting Buber and Maimonides, and one appeared as if by magic. Pretty amazing and pretty concerning as well. How does AI align with Jewish values, and what wisdom can our tradition bring to our understanding of AI, its blessings and its challenges? For one thing, our tradition is adamant about the concept of intellectual honesty. When we quote something that another person said, we are required to mention their name, to give credit where credit is due. This concept is referred to in rabbinic literature as ha'omer davar b'shem amro, saying a word in the name of the person who said it. The Talmud reports that whoever says something in the name of the one they heard it from brings redemption to the world. As we come to rely more and more on words generated not by a human, but by a machine, does the same principle apply? Is it Gnevat Da'at, stealing someone's thinking, their intellectual property, their ideas, to use words that come out of a computer program as if they were our own? I'm thinking that the answer is yes, but it will be interesting to see how halakha, how Jewish law evolves to address this new consideration. Let's talk about privacy. Privacy is a disappearing commodity in contemporary culture. Alexa is listening inside our homes, and video cameras are everywhere that we walk outside. Once something is posted on the internet, it takes on a life of its own, virtually impossible to erase or escape. We read in that book, in the Torah, that when someone owes us money and we go to collect the debt, we are required to remain a respectful distance outside their home so as not to cause any embarrassment or impinge on their privacy. Clearly, the challenge of maintaining a sense of privacy is a priority social consideration, at least in the Torah. Some computer engineers have called for a moratorium on AI development while governments try to catch up with laws and even treaties to contain the explosion of unhinged revelation of private information, not to mention nefarious uses of the technology. The White House's blueprint for an AI Bill of Rights is one attempt to limit the impact of algorithms gone wild. Again, personally, I can't imagine that there is any way to get this genie back into the bottle. Privacy is fast becoming an obsolete value. I graduated from Brandeis University. The seal of the school has the word emet, truth, written on the seal. And the motto of the school is truth, even unto its innermost parts. The Hebrew word for truth, emet, is composed of 3 letters, Aleph, the first letter of the alphabet, Mem, the middle letter, and Tav, the final letter. Thus, we learn that truth is comprehensive, the beginning, the middle, and the end, the whole story. While the rabbis wisely recognize the value of the little white lie that greases social interaction, they hold truth up as fundamentally important. Truth, the Talmud tells us, is the seal of the Holy One. Artificial intelligence may be intelligent, but it is not truthful. I asked ChatGPT to summarize my career in a few paragraphs. It got a lot right, but it also shared facts that were completely false. AI has been known to simply invent data, and lawyers have discovered, much to their dismay, that the case law and opinions drafted by AI are not reliable. We learned years ago with the emergence of Photoshop that a picture is no longer worth 1,000 words. To add to our concerns, voice technology can now mimic our own voices to the extent that we cannot know with certainty that the person that we hear is the person that we know. The value of truth is at great risk. To me, this underlines the role of community and gathering face to face with real people, people with whom we feel trust in real life. Wrap your head around this: a New York Times opinion piece describing 3 women and their experience with my AI lover. In a documentary that expands the conversation, the women reflect on the appeal and limitations of their virtual companions. They appreciate the feeling of being seen and acknowledged, but recognize the absence of real reciprocal emotions and physical presence. Artificial intelligence will never replace what we are experiencing right here, right now. And to those of you joining us virtually, let me assure you that this is really me speaking, and I am speaking my own words. You shall have one law for the native and the stranger is another guiding principle in our tradition. It is why Jews have been proudly at the forefront of every movement for social justice, and why social justice is at the heart of Temple Chai. The dark side of AI is a perpetuation of stereotypes that is in total contrast with this value. The Torah begins with the reminder that every individual is made in the image of God. AI, it seems, has not absorbed this lesson. It is replete with harmful biases, and we need to renew our commitment to confront these injustices wherever they appear. While chatbot psychotherapy has been around for 60 years, it's becoming more powerful and more popular, and maybe more dangerous with modern AI chatbots. Emma Pime reported on folks who experimented with the technology and quickly got sucked into the vortex. Dan, for example, described the experience of using the bot for therapy as low stakes, free, and available at all hours from the comfort of his home. He admitted to staying up until 4 a.m. sharing his issues with the chatbot, a habit which concerned his wife, that he was talking to a computer at the expense of sharing his feelings and concerns with her. When we look at the lack of mental health support in our culture and the prohibitive expense of medical care, I think that Advocating for human care for human beings will be an emerging priority. Ensuring that the best possible care is available as needed is towards the top of our social agenda and increasingly important. As Jews, we are devoted to tikkun olam, to leaving the world better than we found it. Artificial intelligence has the capability of profoundly enhancing our lives, accelerating the advancement of research that can benefit medical knowledge and promote well-being. We can leverage AI to improve the environment and combat poverty. There is so much potential good and so much caution necessary. We are truly on the precipice of radical change beyond comprehension. I don't think it is an exaggeration to say that artificial intelligence is about to change virtually every aspect of our lives. As AI becomes more central in the year ahead, let's reflect on the Jewish values that endure: individual privacy, the divine image in each of us, and respect for intellectual property. Our legacy of commitment to tikkun olam and social justice, and our abiding love for a book written by hand by a pious human being. When we think about AI, many thoughts turn to the legend of the Golem of Prague. In 16th century Prague, a Jewish mystic known as the Maharal crafted a golem, an artificial robotic creature with inhuman strength, designed to protect the Jews being persecuted at that time. Written on the forehead of the golem, its driving force was the word emet, the word for truth. While the golem initially obeyed the rabbi's commands, it ultimately took on a life of its own and became uncontrollable. The rabbi, recognizing the threat posed by his creation, deactivated by the golem by removing the letter Aleph, leaving behind Mem and Tav, death. There's no way to deactivate artificial intelligence. The best we can do is to advocate for our deepest held, most enduring values in a world that changes daily, aware that, like the Golem of Prague, a force that exceeds the limits of human power can have unpredictable and unforeseen consequences. In the year ahead, may we renew our commitment and our dedication to be forces for good in an ever-changing world. Shanah Tovah.
We will return to our prayer books now, our machzors for our concluding prayers. Aleinu can be found on page 116. Page 116. Please rise as you are able.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, lateit gdula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, shelo samanu kimishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamona, v'anachnu koreim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
On page 122, as we turn to the Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, I want to thank two very special volunteers in our Temple Chai community. Steve Haas and Natalie Levy coordinate what we call our Shiva Minyan support group. This is a group of Temple Chai members who each take on the commitment to attend a minimum of 3 Shiva Minyans throughout the year. If you have ever lost a loved one, you know how important it is to feel the support of friends and family at your time of mourning. The mitzvah of Nichum Avelim, comforting those who mourn, is incumbent on every one of us. It is really and truly okay to attend, even if you didn't personally know the person who died or those who are grieving. Going to ask Steve Haas to share a few moments of his perspective on the Shiva Minyan support group and what it has meant to him and what it means to our community.
Natalie can't be here this evening, but I'm sure she's watching on streaming. As we enter into this holy day of atonement, we want to ask for your help in providing a healing mitzvah to those who have lost a loved one. The Shiva Minyan group invites you to join us in making the commitment to attend at least 3 Shivas a year. This group provides needed support at the Shiva, which is usually only a half-hour service, by being there to show support for the family of the beloved one who has passed. People often say, but I don't know what to say. It's easy. When you come in, just say, on behalf of Temple Chai, please accept our condolences. Or, I am so sorry for your loss. Or, I wish to express my deepest sympathy for your loss. Other times people say, I don't know the person who passed or the members of the family, so how can I support them? It feels like I'm intruding. Just by being there with your Temple Chai name tag on provides all the support that is needed. And as the family members express memorable experiences they have had with the loved one, by the end of the service, you will know the person. Remember, you are not there as an individual, but as a member of the Temple Chai caring community, providing needed support. In many ways, it means even more that people they don't know have taken the time to be there for them. We also hear, but it's so sad and depressing to go to a Shiva. Yet it is only the physical body that is gone. The spirit of the loved one lives on in the hearts of the family, as expressed by the memorable stories they share. Of course, it's sad to be part of anyone's death, but in many ways, the Shiva is really a memorializing of a beautiful life that has just concluded the physical part of that life. It takes a very special person to want to provide this service to those in need, despite all these concerns. If you are that person, and if you want to join this group to help heal people in need, just give either of us your name and address and email, and we will make sure you are contacted when a Shiva is scheduled with all the details. Thank you for considering this special mitzvah, and may you have a meaningful Yom Kippur.
Turning now to the Kaddish Yatom on page 122, we will rise together and take a moment to share the names either virtually or in person of the loved ones we are remembering. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'alma Divra Chirutei, V'amlich Malchutei, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, V'chayei, D'chol, Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala U'mizman Kori, V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, Mevorach, Le'olam, U'la'omei Almaya. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei, d'kudisha, b'richu. La'ela u'la'ela, mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran v'yalma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen.
We continue on our screens, Hanfei Ruach.
Ben Adam, Hallel Malale, Hallel Malale, Ben Adam, Hallel Malale. Try with us. Ben Adam, Hallel Malale, Hallel Malale, Ben Adam, Hallel Malale.
Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, shetechadesh alinu Shanah Tovah u'mituka. Our God and God of our ancestors, eternal God of all generations, may your presence in our lives this new year renew our spirits and renew our strength. May it be a good year. May it be a sweet year. L'Shanah Tovah tika tevu v'techa temu. May you be inscribed and sealed for a good year.
Amen.